Question. Do you feel like you are up on all of the current trends? Does that question give you anxiety? I know it does for me. So hi, if you're new and you're just meeting me, my name's Elaine, and I am founder and creator of Captivate the Crowd Camera speaker training program. I help people create their stories, craft their stories, get comfortable and confident on camera. And if you're already speaking and you want to get funnier, I can help you with that too. So I love coaching people just like you, entrepreneurs. And this is my tip for the week. It's a couple of tips, and it's inspired by a Broadway show. So my sister was in town, and I love Broadway. I moved to New York City in 2000 to pursue theater. But I have a joke that if I went to see every show I really wanted to see, I'd be homeless, because it can be a chunk of change. But I went with my sister because we were celebrating our birthdays, and we went and we saw the band's visit. Now, I never would have picked this. The story was like, oh, an Egyptian orchestra goes to the wrong town in Israel. Okay. I'm so glad I listened to my sister and the woman who recommended it. It was really different. It was more like a play with musical. And it wasn't like, because my sister was like, we are not going to see Hello Dolly, even though I love shows like that too. This was like, the storytelling was great. The characters were really fleshed out. The music was beautiful. The direction, the moments, it was really cool watching two different cultures sort of come together and how they affected each other and the daily lives of these people. I mean, it was so beautiful, and the frustrations and pain of being human. It was really poignant. It was based on a movie that won, it was up for the best foreign film a couple of years ago. So if you ever get a chance, it's charming and different. There are no big dance numbers, but there's a lot of funny moments too. So, I'm grateful that I was open to something sort of new and different, and pleasantly surprised. The other thing I want to point out is things keep changing. And you may be like, well, duh, but I think it's worth repeating. So I'm constantly thinking, okay, well, I used to do this used to work. Okay, but does it work now? And what used to work in business, things keep shifting. And so I challenge you, whether you have a nonprofit, your own business, whether you've had a business, whether you're starting out, whether you have a side hustle, wherever you are in that realm, to keep trying to learn and stay abreast without getting overwhelmed, which you're like, yeah, easier said than done. But how do you stay abreast? Do you have a group of people that you can mastermind with, that you can discuss your challenges with? Do you have a speaker coach or a buddy? Sometimes just getting together with one other person who has the same interests or focus or goals is beyond uplifting. It is spiritual, mentally, physically, emotionally, like, whoa. So if you don't have a buddy, whether they're an entrepreneurial buddy or a speaker buddy or a story buddy, I invite you to consider that. I know that I'm a huge fan of masterminding and mentors and coaches, but also aligning myself with people who have similar goals and dreams. That way you don't feel like you're dragging people up the mountain, which is what I used to do. Can you relate? So anyway, and along those lines, I wanted to share this because, I'm a theater geek. I grew up on musical theater. Theater saved my life. I would have run away if I hadn't had theater. It literally saved my life. I would not have gotten sober if I didn't have that passion. So that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about creativity and self-expression and storytelling, because I know what it did for me, and I want to get it back into the schools. It is not, it's mandatory as far as I'm concerned. So that being said, Andrew Lloyd Webber, you've probably heard of him. You've probably made fun of his musical Cats. He did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. He did The Phantom of the Opera. He did Jesus Christ Superstar. I mean, the guy, whatever you think about him, he has had a ton of hits. Amazing. And I just thought this was fascinating. There was a short article about him, and he said, you know, his latest show was School of Rock. I loved the movie, did not see the show, don't really plan to see the show, but good for him. So he said that they workshopped this musical, School of Rock, for 3 weeks at the Gramercy Theater in New York City before opening it in Broadway. He said it was an incredibly rewarding experience. We had an audience paying $25 a ticket, and they gave us their opinion. If we had gone out of town, which is what Broadway shows used to do, like, that's a funny joke, but will it play in Muncie or Altoona? You know, you used to take your vaudeville act, your whatever theater, you used to go on the road and work out all the kinks before you came to New York, right? But that can be expensive. It's really expensive. So he said they learned so much from getting audience feedback, and they didn't have to go out of town and schlep all that stuff and do a tour and da, da, da. And I thought, wow, that's change. That is change. Theater is doing surveying. Basically, they're getting like focus groups, and they're doing it in new ways. It used to always go, you took it on the tour, you took it on the road. What does it play in Altoona? You can look up any old vaudeville stuff. That was the saying. And I just thought, wow, Andrew Lloyd Webber, and he's in his 70s, people. Like, even if you don't like cats, the guy has done some amazing things. Nobody has that many hits that run that long. And I just thought, wow, he is doing new things with his business. And I find that inspiring, you know, those old days of I'm an old dog, you can't teach me new tricks. That's over, you know, that's over. So I just wanted to share that because I was really inspired by that. Obviously, every time I go to the theater, I am thinking, how can I take this back? What can I learn about storytelling? How can I give these lessons to my people, my tribe? So I'm going to do another Facebook Live about the lessons from the storytelling, but I wanted to make this one especially for the people who are on my newsletter list, because you guys are special. I appreciate you following me and responding. I love to get replies from you. I love to hear from you. I'd love to know what your challenges are with your speaking, with your storytelling, with your live video. And I love to share what I'm learning. You know, I'm very much a master in process. I always feel like I'm a work in progress, and I'm learning, and I'm sharing my process and everything that I learn with my students and clients with you as well. So that is my question for you. How are you keeping up with all of the changes? Do you have a story buddy, a speaker buddy, a coach, a mentor? Because it's just more fun. It's just more fun to do it with somebody else than try to do it by yourself. So the band's visit, if you get a chance, really inspiring. Andrew Lloyd Webber in his 70s doing new things with theater and music, getting audience feedback. He's doing surveys, basically, just like an internet marketer, but in a slightly different context. So that is my tip of the week for you, my dears. I hope that you're having an awesome day. And thank you. Thank you for being in my life and being a part of this community. I adore you, and I wish you a fabulous, amazing day. Bye for now.